The cold that was stuck in Detroit is very, very cold. Well, let's talk about, I brought up a possibility of the Pistons putting together, adding Dejounte Murray, either Pascal, Siakam, Miles Bridges, or Lauri Markkanen, and then also or Zach LaVine or Klay Thompson. All right. Issue here is that Dejounte Murray got to get paid. Pascal Siakam got to get paid. Lauri Markkanen got to get paid, or possibly adding Miles Bridges as well too. Which, he could hit the market next year, but I think they, want to keep LaMelo happy. So keeping him might be a priority for them. So, hypothetically, I'll say this. Would you need Dejounte and Zach LaVine? Okay. Zach LaVine like to handle the basketball. He want to get out of Chicago. Chicago organization want him gone. So it seemed to be pretty much mutual. But he does a really good job of, getting his own shot. So you would have a guy like Dejounte Murray who could set him up, a guy like Cade who at this point you would move to the 3 to set him up. So at that point it would be a bit repetitive because, Cade Cunningham could just be the guy that could just set Zach LaVine up and, if they want to keep Ivy, if they could keep Ivy and had Ivy and LaVine in the backcourt and had Cade play the 3, then in that situation you would need a serious, you would need a serious threat, shooting wise at the 4 and defensively at the 4. So that'd be the other issue there. Cade would have to continue to be a better shooter, which I think he will with a guy like LaVine and, Ivy get a shot. But in this scenario, in my opinion, let's just talk about the guards real quick. If you get Murray and Klay Thompson, 9 times out of 10, Jaden Ivey's out of there. You know what I'm saying? So I think the combination of Murray and Klay Thompson fit better. Klay like to do things off the ball, and obviously you got to pay both of them. Both are defensive minded. Maybe Klay is not the defender that he used to be, but he brings a championship pedigree. But are you in the business of paying Klay around $50 million a year? That's the thing about it. Klay in it for the money at this point. He's still going to be professional. His daddy was in the league, Michael Thompson. He going to bring shooting still. He's starting to really heat up right now. He going to shoot the ball well. He going to be a willing defender. He going to bring pedigree to the team. 6'7", going to catch and shoot, going to provide spacing. Dejounte Murray will provide defense, but, the amount of money that you're going to have to pony out to both of them, and then you're going to have to eventually play Cade Cunningham coming up not too in the distant future. That's the problem, right? So that's the issue. And this is why I feel like they need to be trying to develop Marcus Sasser to step in and kind of play that role. Good defender, good shooter. Can you develop him into a Derek Fisher type of guy where he can defend and shoot? I think he can. I think he could be a Richards man's Kyle Lowry. No offense to Kyle Lowry, great player. I think he could be in that mode, but better. So that's why you need to be playing certain. That's why you need to be playing a guy like Sasser, so you can start to mold him. Especially if you're gonna move on from some of these guys, which I'm gonna continue to talk about towards the end of the video. The guys you might have to move on, the assets you might have to move on from. So, that's really the question. Is that overkill going out there? Can you get somebody that's under contract? That's a great question. Because you go out there and get a Moses Moody instead of Klay Thompson, but then again, you need a veteran presence there as well, too. So, with Zach LaVine, he already paid. You play. The only issue I got with Zach LaVine is simply defensively. That's what concerns me. With Murray and Klay Thompson, there's a commitment to defense. That's what I like about Dejounte Murray. He can guard multiple positions. He played next to a ball-dominant guy. That won't be the case in Detroit unless they bring in an additional guy. So that'll kind of be the case. He can play on the ball, off the ball. He can defend. He can facilitate. I think him and Cade work good together. In reality, maybe you can turn around and get a Kevin Huerter. He getting overpaid though, but maybe you can get a Kevin Huerter in there and he can give you, the spacing that you need. Maybe you can go get a Kevin Huerter, put him in there with Dejounte Murray, spacing, K Cunningham at the 3, you know what I'm saying, and then you can just figure out the rest amongst the way. That could be another alternative. You going out there trying to get a guy like Kevin Huerter. You know, can stretch it, can shoot it, you know what I'm saying? You know, and you know, you go out there and get Murray and Huerter, you probably can keep Jaden Ivey in those scenarios. So, you know, but, you know, in those scenarios, but, you know, in reality, I think it's either like in this situation, either, you know, Zach LaVine, you know, I think that he worked better with Cade and whoever else they got back there. And then I would say, in another reality, I like the way that Murray and Klay Thompson work together as a good defensive backcourt. You move Cade to the 3, so I like the way that works. Now you're saying, okay, let's say in the reality we go with LaVine, right? We say with LaVine, whatever. We go get a trade for LaVine, right? All right, then our biggest hole now is, you know, at the 4 position. You know, could you go get a Lauri Markkanen and a Pascal Siakam? Do you wait the free agency is the question. Like I said before, if you go get a Zach LaVine, like let's say in a scenario, back to the scenario, you get a Murray and a Klay Thompson, I think you get away with a Pascal Siakam. You know, I think you get away with him not being able to consistently knock down the 3. In this scenario with Zach LaVine, you go get a Lauri Markkanen. The question is, defensively, you might have 2 liabilities out there. So that means whoever you know, K Cunningham got to be better defensively, and whoever you got at the running in the backcourt or playing the 3, depending on where you play K, they got to be great defensively. So that's the issue with Zach LaVine and getting Lauri Markkanen. There's a defensive deficiencies, you know, liabilities in the lineup. You go with Klay and Murray, you know, then you can get away with a guy like Lauri Markkanen. But then again, you got to pay 3 guys. That's where you really don't like it at. But Zach LaVine, a guy he already under contract for the next few years, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, then you can add, you know, a Markkanen and not probably have to pay him so much. But defensively, you know, really, you would really need Jaden Ivey and Ashore Thompson to set up their ability to shoot the ball, because defensively, they are the ones that's going to take on the tough assignment. So, in reality, you want those guys to develop, you know, during Ashore and Ivey. You know, you want those guys to develop, or one of the guys between Ivey and Ashore to develop into a better shooter. That way, you know, during, you know, or Ivey or Ashore can take on the tough matchups defensively and allow, you know, Zach LaVine and K Cunningham, you know, to do their thing. But like I said, if somehow you could swing a Klay Thompson or somebody like Murray who could facilitate, defend, and shoot the ball well enough, and you able to, you know, add a guy at the 4 like a Pascal Siakam or somebody similar to him that can defend and shoot, then hey, that's even better. You know what I'm saying? But you can add a Murray with, I'm not trying to be confusing, you can get away with a Lauri Markkanen at the 4 if you got, you know, Dejounte Murray and Klay Thompson. But the issue is all 3 of them got to get paid. You know, then you say, okay, in reality, let's say we throw out there Klay, Murray, Cade, you know, Markkanen and Duran. You know, how good is that team is the question. You know, how good can they really be? So, you know, really it's going to be who you can keep and who you put around them. And in those scenarios, you know, think about getting guys with expired contracts or guys like, you know, Zach LaVine that don't nobody want. The thing about it is you wouldn't have to give up that number 1 pick this year. You wouldn't. That's the thing about it. You wouldn't have to give up that number 1 pick. So, you know, in reality, you're more likely to be able to go get a Zach LaVine, right? You're more likely to go get a Zach LaVine, and then even though he in the division, and then you're more likely to probably go out there and get a Siakam or a Markkanen. You know, but if that happens when you go get a Zach LaVine, and let's say you go get a Markkanen, then Ashore Thompson just becomes that much more valuable. You need him to shoot the ball because his defense is going to be needed out there. So, like I said before, if you get a Siakam and let's say a Klay Thompson, or a Siakam and a Murray, you know, or Thompson, then, you know, at the end of the day, you got a little bit more wiggle room because Klay can spread the floor out. But if Kevin Huerter is another good addition, a little bit overpaid over there in Sacramento, but you know what he's going to get you. He's going to stretch the floor out. you know, he gonna give you some young legs and he can shoot the blood out the ball. So that might be another cheaper alternative. You know, that way that allow you to kind of keep Ivy in the mix, whatever. You throw Herter out there, you throw Ivy out there, you put Cade out there. You know what I'm saying? That way you probably can still end up with Murray. And you probably can still end up getting a Bridges or Pascal or Lauri Markkanen. So, you know, the question is, you know, how quick they gel offensively and how quick they gel defensively. But in reality, if it was up to me, I think, you know, I'm holding on to that number 1 pick, see if I get that Sarr kid from France. But in reality, you know, if you had to ask me, I think if they had to, you know, if they get their shit together internally, I probably would say, if they really feel like they need to move on from Jaden Ivey, so be it. I don't want to, but hey, it is what it is. I think I go out there, get Dejounte Murray, I get Lauri Markkanen, get Kevin Herter, and call it a day. I ain't even worried about who ain't coming and who coming for free agency. That's what I do. You know, I go out there, and I don't know who all available. This is just me. I go out there, I trade for Murray, and I get Lauri Markkanen. I put Lauri, you know, and I love Zach LaVine, but I love what Markkanen can do for this. Murray can do for this team, what Markkanen can do for this team, and I just hope that the guys around him, Cade and Duran, they and sure are able to flourish and able to step it up, and they should have a pretty good team. But you know, at the end of the day, I love Zach LaVine being able to get his own bucket, score. He'll be big time here, you know, and maybe you can add a Siakam in free agency, you know, if you do that. So, yeah, they got some options. You know, LaVine and Pascal wouldn't be bad at all neither. But, hey, let me know what you girls and guys think, man. Thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. The subscribe button is the bell icon button. Hit all notifications, increase your chance to get notifications. We go live and drop video. Financially, want to support the channel. Cash App, $, CJ Good 313, Venmo, CJ Good 313, PayPal link in the description. Check out the Detroit Pistons Talk playlist for more videos like this. Peace.